What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. We've all been kids living in a house with our parents, presumably, and our parents were hopefully good parents, and that means they locked the doors at night and they kept you safe inside of your house. Let's say you had bad parents, though, and your parents left the doors and windows open and allowed vagrants and really anyone to just come into your house, to come into your bedroom, to eat from your kitchen, and to use your bathroom. As a little child, that would make you feel very, very nervous because the people in charge of the house were doing a terrible job of keeping it safe and letting absolutely anybody in, including people that probably don't like you or intend you harm. Well, you'd feel like you have some pretty parents, and you certainly do if that is in fact the case. As a father of kids myself, I can tell you that is the worst thing you could possibly do to your kids, is make them feel unsafe. And that is precisely a metaphor for what is happening to this country right now. We are being invaded. There's no other way to say it. It's a conquest. And if you need to any further evidence of this, go ahead and look at this video from Texas. Here is a video of a Venezuelan flag, a massive one of those huge flags that you see flying at like soccer games, planted on sovereign Texas soil by a military-aged migrant from Venezuela who is ushered into our country with a red carpet by the Biden regime, welcomed directly into America, welcome to your new home. But he doesn't actually like his new home. This man wants to plant his flag on our soil. What does that say? That says it's not migration, it's invasion. It's conquest by foreign nations. That is precisely what is happening. They often say that these are refugees. This is the sob story that they want to say. A refugee from a war-torn whatever, right? Well, why would a refugee who's fleeing his home country plant his home country's flag on our soil? Why indeed? The officer in charge of this region of Eagle Pass, Texas, explained what happened here today, because this tweet has gone, thermonuclear. 9,000 retweets, 22,000 likes. What does the man have to say?
I want to ask you, Lieutenant, why did you take it down? What happened?
Well, Griff, it's disrespectful to the state of Texas and to the country when you have illegal immigrants that are crossing unlawfully between ports of entry, and those that are claiming they're leaving their country out of fear, but yet they proudly display their flag, and in this case, planted a flag on Texas soil is an insult to our state. The federal government may welcome that, but the state of Texas will not stand for that, and that's why we immediately took down that flag.
And here, Sandra, we learned yesterday from officials, CBP officials, that because of the Border Patrol agents having to process these migrants, 90+% of the force is right here processing these migrants. There is more than 60 miles here in Eagle Pass unpatrolled. It is a cartel's dream to have that much open border, but Texas DPS is taking action on that.
Absolutely, Griff. So that's always been a challenge and always been an issue when you have vulnerable gaps along the border that are not being patrolled. In this case, when you have a large influx, especially here in Eagle Pass, more Border Patrol agents are taken off the line. They're pulled from the river where they cannot focus on criminal activity. What does that do? Well, it exploits those gaps even more now, where Mexican drug cartels, criminal smuggling organizations can take full advantage of that. They exploit that. So as Texas DPS, we are going to supplement that by placing additional state troopers in those areas, working private ranches, working corridors that are used for human smuggling, but most importantly, focusing on those areas.
Elon Musk now says he's coming to see the migrant crisis here in Eagle Pass. If he shows up, we'll bring it to you when it happens.
So I look forward to the left calling this man, who's clearly of Latino origin, a racist for wanting less Latinos here. And that is, in fact, true. Elon Musk saying that he's going to go down to the border, saying this is a severe crisis. Elon Musk has been tweeting about the crisis at the border quite a bit, just in New York City, gearing up to pay $1 billion on just hotels over the next 3 years to house illegal immigrants. Good, that's what happens when you call yourself a sanctuary city. This is just the hotel cost. New York Mayor Eric Adams estimates that it could be $12 billion over the next 3 years. We're past our breaking point. 57,000 individuals currently in the care of this sanctuary city. New York residents have had enough. Oh yeah? Have you had enough? Elect Republicans. That's what Texas has done. Texas continues to bus migrants, says Greg Abbott, to sanctuary cities to relieve the overwhelmed border towns. 12,000 to D.C., 15,000 to New York, 9,000 to Chicago, 3,000 to Philadelphia, 1,800 to Denver, 650 to L.A. Did you know that Greg Abbott declared an invasion at the southern border and deploys the Texas National Guard? We're building a border wall, razor wire, marine barriers, he said. The Constitution won ratification by promising states that the federal government shall protect them against invasion by refusing to enforce immigration laws enacted by Congress, including criminal prohibition against aliens entering the United States, authorized ports of entry. Your administration has made clear that you will not honor that guarantee. The federal government's failure has forced us to invoke Article 1, S10, Clause 3, U.S. Constitution, thereby enabling the state of Texas to protect its own territory against invasion by Mexican drug cartels. Says Greg Abbott of Texas. Well, good for him. Good for him. Pretty amazing to watch AOC be unable to talk even on the streets of New York City, drowned out by presumably Democrats in New York screaming, close the border.
The American dream. We believe in it, and we will fight for it. With that?
Yes, and ultimately I think that there are 3 points of consensus here that are very important in getting a solution to this issue. The first is that there is consensus here across geography and states on increased federal resources
AOC,
to the municipalities dealing with this issue.
AOC getting screamed down. A migrant hotel, a hotel completely teeming and overrun by migrants, the Roosevelt Hotel in New York. Multiple hotels in New York now are just complete and total migrant hotels. Incredible. How is this polling with the American people?
Announcing there were more than 232,000 migrant encounters at the southern border in August, the highest monthly total this year. The president says his policies are working.
We put in place policies that process people in a fair and fast way.
But our poll shows only 23% approve of his handling of the situation, another career low.
23% approve of Joe Biden's handling of the border. Well, what about the other guy? What's he doing? Donald Trump, a true thing. Problem solved. New border security will work for food. The New York Times actually covered how Donald Trump wanted to fill the Rio Grande with crocodiles, alligators, and all the sort, snakes, in order to keep people. He wanted a moat in front of his wall. He may well get it. People are pissed. It's not just in America. This is what's happening in Spain. This is a D-Day style invasion on a Spanish beach. It's not a border crisis. It's a plot. It's not immigration. It's an invasion. It's not spontaneous. It's coordinated. Western civilization will go down. We'll be gone within a generation. Our grandkids will hate us. Yeah. Yep. The government was at all interested in stopping this, it would be sinking those boats. They can't be used again. Create expenses for them, and they will slow them down or bring them to a stop entirely. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the government isn't interested in stopping this. The government wants the destruction of our society. The government wants the breaking of the fabric in our society. They wish to let us know via humiliation and neglect, as veterans live homeless on our streets, that these are in fact their new children, perhaps a more compliant group of children. This is why our government is bankrolling Ukrainian first responders, fashion stores, schools, and farms in a $10 billion aid package. Oh, you thought your money was going to fight a war with Russia? Oh, no, no, no. It's going to the people who the American government actually loves. Not Americans, of course. We're just a tax farm for a globalist empire. Going to Ukrainian old women knitting scarves.
And taxpayers are financing more than just weapons. The US government's buying seeds and fertilizer for Ukrainian farmers. And the US also funds the divers clearing unexploded ammunition from the country's rivers and covering the salaries of Ukraine's first responders, 57,000 of them. We're surprised to find that to keep it afloat, the US government is subsidizing small businesses.
Like this lady's knitting fashion company. This woman, this old boomer lady, is receiving money, American taxpayer dollars, from our U.S. Treasury to knit sweaters. Does it enrage you yet? Maybe that explains why none of the Ukrainian counteroffensive gains has been, I don't know, this little teeny speck. Yeah. Ukraine's done nothing. Ukraine's lost the war. That's just a matter of fact at this point. $500 billion to get that little blue speck back. Is it even habitable? Yeah. Held by Russia. Good luck. Good luck. So we're spending trillions to protect Ukraine's borders poorly, about as poorly as our own borders being protected, but we're not spending any money on that. And what is that creating? Creating absolute horrors inside of our own country, a low-trust society. And that is what our leaders want. This is what a CVS looks like in San Francisco. They have to lock up the hot pockets. This is what it looks like in New York. In New York, you have to push a button to get toothpaste. Low-trust society. No cohesion in society. They want to break down what it means to be an American, break down societal trust. Here in Oakland, the entire shopping center has just been cleaned out. This CVS store in Oakland has just been completely cleaned out. Nothing's there. Everything's gone. This is why these people, there's not a single bit of outrage when a criminal, international criminal alien plants a foreign flag on our soil. First time that's happened in a long time. First time that's happened since the Revolutionary War days. Foreign country planting a flag on our soil. Am I right? Maybe. Probably. Maybe something happened in World War II. I think I'm reminded of maybe a little Japanese, like a little submarine wound up on an island and they were able to claim it somewhere. I'm not sure. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you this. This should enrage you. It should cause your blood to boil. It certainly does mine. No more invasion. We need better leaders. Or we won't have a country any longer. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.